Hello, everyone. How's it going? My name is Brian Dunwitty. I have Alan Asp with me.
Alan Asp.
Interesting day here. It's all you math nerds. It's 2/22/22, which doesn't happen too often. I am still waiting for the iOS app to be approved. Their latest was that relates to binary options trading, which it does not. I think Apple is just a little confused. And for those of you that aren't familiar with binary options, think of it like the over and under in football. It's either yes or no. For instance, gold is going to close above $24 on this date. It's almost like a bet, and that's why Apple doesn't want them in their store. So I responded, doesn't relate to binary options trading. The options that we trade are derivatives, means that they're derived or their value is based on an underlying asset, such as a stock. So hopefully I kind of straighten them out, and hopefully that'll get approved soon, because I know you guys have been asking for it. Other than that, watching the market, I saw gold trigger this morning. I saw RTX trigger long. RTX was interesting because I always get these support and resistance mixed up. Because originally it triggered long, came back down, and then broke below the 5 low, and then came back up above the 5 high before basically closing where it opened. And I watched X.
Hey, Brian, can I interrupt for a minute?
Sure.
Go back to RTX.
RTX. Raytheon.
Yeah. Now, kind of an interesting story. I never told the story, but I actually went ahead and applied to work at Raytheon. And my best friend's father was vice president of Raytheon.
Interesting.
Yeah. But what I want to show you, you see where it came back to the 5-minute high?
Yep. But actually, even before that, it came.
No, watch this though. You see where it came there?
Yep.
That's where you want to buy. Yes, you can buy it when it breaks the 5-minute high. But if it goes neutral or it doesn't go, the safest place to buy a stock is as it comes up to the 5-minute high or low. And so in this case, that is where you want to buy it. Now, you had no reason to sell because you had a wall there to tell you that it was not going to go down any lower. So you would have like rode it back up, but as you see, it eventually breaks it, but that means it had a lot of, downward momentum because the market dropped 400 or 500 points.
Right. And the earlier that you get into a stock or get into options, you have a lot of volatility, or it costs a lot more the first 30 minutes of trading than it does after an hour and a half. So these options, this first half hour, are a lot more expensive than getting in when it goes and retests that 5-minute high.
And go to Raytheon at the end of the day. Did you notice that you never had a point to buy? See, the market will always fool you. It will always go ahead and give you a story that is a fake story. And you see right there, you're like, oh, it broke it, I'm going to buy in. No, you don't buy it. Because the thing is you see that it never broke it on the 5-minute. Don't know why this works. It works every single time. Yeah. And the thing is that it's got to be the algorithms that they use on the exchanges, because it happens so often. And then if you go further on Raytheon, right around 330, you notice how it tried to break it, couldn't break it. See, it kept bouncing, you know, so all good stuff.
These are bull traps are what these are. These are basically money or market makers looking for more money, looking for suckers to get long before they short it again.
You know, nowadays, if you own a stock, it costs nothing to buy or sell it. So I don't think they care. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that crazy? If someone would have told me 5 years ago that you could buy and sell stocks and not pay any commission, I'd never, how do they make their money?
Right, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Now it's, this is all predetermined by computers. Computers run the algorithms. Algorithms are what run the market. Gold and ExxonMobil were the biggest surprises I had all day today.
Yeah.
No sense to me at all. Now, gold was up at about $9.45, $6, you know, for gold. And the fact is that it was oversold and it just sold off. I'm like, that was just crazy to me. But again, look at 1 o'clock. Your safest place to buy a stock is when it approaches the wall. It's a wall, ain't going through the wall unless it's got huge amount of momentum. If you go ahead and if you're going to buy a stock, the safest spot to buy it, and I learned this from Oliver Velez, the safest spot to buy it is when it comes back up to that low. Now he does the 1 minute lows, but I never found those are as accurate as the 5 minutes. But you can see right there, try to come up to it, no momentum, and then look at 2 o'clock, you're cashing the register.
Yeah.
Yeah. ExxonMobil, biggest surprise of the day. I was talking to a guy, I think he had $500,000 of oil contracts. Like, I said, man, that's a lot of money. I was talking to him this morning, and it's like, dang, I said, you're gonna make out a fortune today. He says, well, you know, I don't know. I said, I'll tell you what. I said, you want my advice? Sell all your contracts. You own ExxonMobil, you own BP, and you own Rig. I think it was Rig. But because I don't even know if Rig's trading anymore. But I was like, sell it within 5 minutes of the open. He said, no, I hold. And I mean, look at that. I mean, that is just crazy. I mean, ExxonMobil just totally got annihilated.
Yeah,
I mean,
what is 79 minus 70?
I think it went from $79 all the way to 76.
It's a 4% drop right there.
Oh, it's huge. And then the thing is that so you see it retested it after the 15-minute mark right there. It retested that 5 minute low. That's where you want to be in. Retested it, buy, and then the thing is you hold it to 2 o'clock and you cash your register for a couple thousand. That's the key right there. Don't hold overnight. Don't go ahead and try to, you know, beat the market. Just go ahead and play the market.
Right, and try to buy in it as close to these.
And some people say, "Alan, you didn't give me the trade." I showed you on the 5 minute app, ExxonMobil gold. I mean, how do I know this stuff? I'm not psychic. I just follow it every day. So these are ones that move and you can make some money with. If you go ahead and pick a stock that doesn't move, you'll not make any money. You got to have something that moves. Does OPK move? No, it's a $3 stock. You know, what moves? You got to get something that moves. You need a mover. Now, bookings would have been a great play today. Bring up bookings. I think that's at one. Is that 5 minutes?
Yep.
Yeah. So you bring that up. A classic Friday movement, but today wasn't Friday. But generally speaking, you see it didn't have much momentum. Came back in the 5-minute range. Now you should have sold that call option on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7th bar. So you would have sold it because it finished below that. And then the thing is then you would have bought a put right at 11 o'clock. Right there. I mean, what a beautiful, thing. And then you would have set your stop limit above that 5-minute low.
Yeah, looking for a close above that.
Yeah. So this app is going to tell you when to get in. Where do you get out? You get out when you have a big green bar. Where's that green big bar? As far as I'm concerned, you had your second good bar right around 2 o'clock. That's where I would have got. I didn't play bookings today.
Well, in bookings reports, I think, when do they report? PKNG. Wednesday after the bell.
There you go.
So,
Sweet. So the app is almost there. We almost got the app. The app is getting close.
yeah, and for those of you that are that saw it this morning, take a second. Where was my? Because I posted after you did. Okay. Yeah, for those of you that saw it, this is the Apple version of Alan's post this morning.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know, where did you go? I don't like how Facebook reformats things or change things around. But Alan, let me see if I can get it. So this is Alan's version, the Android version of the app that Alan lists the stocks. And this is the iOS version that I've been using on my phone. This is dark mode.
You are using it.
Yeah, I definitely. And like I said, I watched Gold, I watched RTX, and I watched X, because X triggered short and then came back up, I believe.
Yeah, well, it was a call option. It triggered call to about 10 o'clock and then it flipped around. Yeah, bring that up. Now, a trick I use, I hope you're taking some notes on the video. A trick I do is I check CNBC.com and see what the stock does in pre-market. So it gives you a pretty good feel what it's going to do for the day. That's a pretty big long bar. So that thing looks like it didn't go much of anywhere.
Yeah, right.
So the reason I say that is because like gold, I think was up about 20, 25 cents or something like that. In pre-market, it gave you hints of it because in pre-market, I saw it up 10, 15 cents or whatever. Same thing with oil, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is that I'm looking for something that's getting traded in pre-market.
That has the volume, yeah.
Yeah, and so because that's what's generating excitement for the day. If you were to get into something that has no excitement, it's not going anywhere. That's just the way it is. So,
yeah.
Sweet.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna call that a wrap.
I definitely, yeah. Pretty soon I'm gonna go over to Apple, fly to California, and shake these guys. Get these guys going, because, like I said, it's been quite a while. Back at the end of the month, end of January, is when I first submitted. So
Well, if Brian, if you get this, you're gonna get a data boy.
Yeah, like I said, and I continue to go back where, I submitted it to Google. They said, yeah, sure, here's your app, you're fine. And Apple's like, no, 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 no. So it's interesting.
I tell you what, my wife Donna has an Apple phone, and her daughter pushed her to get it, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I hate. I can't figure it out. I just can't figure them out. I mean, they just drive me nuts. I mean, I think, for those that love Apple, I think that's great. But even to like navigate, I think Google is just so simple. Maybe I'm just a simple person. The Google is just so easy to use. I mean, there's just nothing to it. Apple is like all like complicated.
You have to think about it because, yeah, I mean, yeah, it is quite the divide. People are either Android people or iOS people, and it is hard. It is hard. It is super hard to.
They try to give me an Apple 10 phone for free. And I tried playing with it for 5 minutes. I was like, here you go. I'm like, I can't even get to the pictures. I'm like, why is this so complicated? It's like I just hit the button.
Yeah. I feel the same way about Android because when I was developing the Android app, I had to get a Samsung phone, and I just, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Have a good night, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.